Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show. Now, Patricia, she sees that Kenny is feeling some type of way too. And the nurturer that she is, the giving person that she is, she tries to reassure him and she tells him, look, I want you and only you. But I'm still married. I still share a bed with him. And if he wants to have sex with me, listen to what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, y'all. She tells him, if he still wants to have sex with me, then I'm going to have sex with my husband. But I only make love to you. And that made Kenny feel like he was the king. He felt like he was on top of the world. Because, see, there is a difference. There is a difference. See, when you're having sex with somebody, it's just the physicalness of it. You know? The ooh and then the on and all of this and that. That's part of it. Your body feels a certain way. But see, when you're making love, you're pouring everything that you have into it. You are committed to that person. You love this person. It's an emotional attachment to it. It's an emotional attachment to it. Think about it, y'all. I know that some of y'all out there been in love with people that might not be good in bed. Might not be this and might not be that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't get too explicit with you. I don't know what, I might have to put rated X on the thing or something, But when you're in love with somebody, see, none of that really matters. Because what's good is the emotional connection. And it makes you overlook all the inadequacies. You understand? The shortcomings, let's say it like that the person might have in bed. You see? Not to say that Ray had any shortcomings, but it was a difference. And she wanted Kenny to understand that. Now see, Ray, he had gone. He had left the house. But see, here's the thing. See, one of those many different women that he was having relationships outside his marriage was with the maid. Yeah, the same maid that he slapped and told to get out of the house and never to come back. He stops by the house that he's paying for. He goes in and he tells her that he's sorry for what he did, but he believed what she was saying, but he had to play his role. He said things like this have to be handled delicately. And she gets angry with him and she slaps him. She said, don't you ever do that to me again. And she said, what am I going to do now? He said, you don't have to work. You don't have to work. I take care of you. But she liked being in that big house. She liked being close to him. And she liked being around him in the middle of the night when he would get up out of the bed with his wife and come to her room and make love to her and then go back to her. She liked that. Again, like I said, when you're sneaking, it's exciting. But now that was over. He wanted her to understand that he believed what she was saying, but he was going to need her later on. But he didn't want her to stay in that house and for anything to maybe be found out. He wants his wife to continue to do what she's doing. So he installs cameras all through the house, right? You would think that a dope boy would already have that, right? But now these are cameras. They're going to be surveilling the inside of the house, not the outside of the house to see who's coming. Now, he's hiding cameras all throughout the house and mainly in the bedroom. And Patricia has no clue. She has no idea what's going on. None at all. Now, Kenny, his most trusted. Now he's under suspicion. See, he had no idea that the keys to the kingdom were being prepared to be handed over to him. He had no idea that this was going down. But now, it's looking rough for him. It's looking rough for him because if Ray really believes this is happening and he gets the proof, he can make Kenny and Patricia disappear like that. And it's a real possibility that that is about to happen. But see, he leaves things in place because he doesn't want to draw any suspicion. But see, Ken is smart too. He starts to notice the change in Ray. And he gets suspicious about things that are going on in the house and the people that have been invited into the house. He don't know these people. So he does his own little background and he finds out that these people specialize in surveillance. So he starts to put two and two together and he realizes that he's wiring the house up so he can keep up with what's going on in the house. So he tells Patricia, whispers in her ear in a secluded area, "You need to meet away from the house." So they start to make arrangements to meet at a hotel. And Kenny, he tells her what he's thinking and what he thinks is going on. And she said, "Is there any way that we can find out for sure and find out how he's doing it so we can control what he sees?" Kenny's on it. He doubles back and he goes to the people that have been coming in the house to set up this surveillance and he tells them who he works for. They don't question it. And he tells them that he needs another line that he could connect to where he could see the stuff himself on his laptop. And from here on out, make sure they contact him. But see, here's the thing about situations like that. They wouldn't need to contact anybody else, you know. See, Ray's not going to need them anymore. He understands how the technology works, but they don't know that this rift is between Ray and Kenny. So they tell him, yeah, and all this and that. He pays them a lot of money in cash. So they do exactly what it is that he asked them to do. So now he sees everything that Ray is seeing. So they start to manipulate the scenes and situations to make Ray believe that nothing is happening. And it works. And it works. They are on tape talking about how much that they appreciate him, and she's talking about how much she loves and misses him, and he tells her, look, just give him time. He's a good guy. All of these different types of things. And he's listening to it, and he's being fooled by it. This smart, street-savvy dude is being fooled by it. Why? Because he has no idea that they know. They know that they're being taped, so they're putting on. They're putting on. So he starts to feel bad about what's going on, and he starts to think that the maid was trying to cause a rift so she could have him to herself. But he keeps all of the things that he's learning and finding out, all of this to himself, and he goes home and he starts to come home earlier than he used to. He starts to spend more time with Patricia than he used to. Starts to doing all the things that she wants him to do that he can under the circumstances, because he still has to work and put things together. And now Patricia and Kenny have re-earned his trust. But they know that that's going to only work for so long, because they have fallen madly, wildly, passionately in love. And they have to figure out what they're going to do. So one night when they were at the hotel, after they had finished making love, they talked about how to take him down, what they were going to do. And Patricia remembered a long time ago when she was in the early parts of the relationship, she had a friend that she was in college with that decided to go into the FBI. And she wondered if she could still contact that friend. She reached out to her and she found her. She was no longer working with the FBI, but she had taken a job in one of the police departments and she was up in the rankings. She was like the assistant chief. And she told her what her concerns were and all this and that, and how she had been duped all of these years, and she wanted to know, could she help her? And her friend knew Ray. He had come across their radar many times, but they never could pin anything on him. He was a smart drug dealer. He wasn't your average drug dealer, y'all. So she told her, she said, look, you're going to have to work with us. Give us some time. Let me pass this up the chain and see what we can figure out, right? But what do you want to do after this goes down? She said, I just want to be able to go on with my life. I don't want to be broke either. So her friend told her, look, we'll talk about this another time, right? So that you'll be able to take care of yourself, you and your son. But for right now, those kind of conversations you only have between me and you. And then we'll see how this goes, right? So she told her, yes. She said, so what are you saying? Are you going to allow me to? She said, hold up. And you hold up too. If you want to hear the rest of this, you're going to have to tune into the next episode, right? It's getting good, y'all, I'm telling you. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. And I say peace, y'all.
I'm getting so tired.